I saw someone had asked about the top 3 things I check for mold in a home. So HVAC systems for sure. Mechanical systems are huge, right? Because that's an area that's pretty much creating a mold factory, right? If it's not sized properly, which again is very common, it's not able to condense properly or pull the moisture out of the environment or out of its own environment, right? And there's natural material in there. There's all the things mold need inside of an HVAC system, pretty much. Especially with the package units that don't have a separate furnace inside, they're just sitting outside in the heat and then in the cold, so they're blowing opposite temperatures in whichever season they're in. So just again, the building science is not sciencing. That, of course, like wet rooms, sinks, stuff like that, where there's a lot. We were just talking about this one. I've gone to a lot of houses. Sink looks fine, the vanity looks fine, and then you stick a scope underneath the protrusions right there, and on the back of that drywall, underneath the back corner of that vanity where you can't see, there's a lot of mold growing there a lot of times.
Yeah, he says he finds Stachybotrys there a lot.
It's very common.
You definitely don't want Stachybotrys anywhere near you, so.
You do not. And then the showers. Showers are super common too.
Yeah.
That's one, So I always pull a shower, the face of the shower off or at the head, stick a camera down there. And typically nowadays we're doing air sampling from the shower always.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of I've kind of learned that's kind of like the given. Like we should just air sample compared to the outside, usually a 2-minute draw, 30 liters. And if there's anything higher than the outside, sure enough, there's moisture back there. And it happens, right? Because there's lines, typically there's copper. It's a hot, steamy environment, and then you have no insulation, so you have a massive thermal bridge in there, and then it's just either it's leaking, which is typically not what I find, it's not usually very obvious, or it's just condensing in that cavity constantly, and it's growing on the drywall on both sides. Typically they're not using cementitious board, which we all should be. We should never be using drywall in any scope of the imagination, but it gets used overly, right? Especially in wet rooms, and that's just a great way for mold to grow in those environments.
So what are signs to look for? Would it be like cracking paint, like separating baseboards in there? It will be mold, reoccurring mold in the caulk, like just all the things?
All the things, the signs and symptoms, right? And that's what we follow the signs and symptoms to go into a house, unless I'm working with a mold dog and they point out areas to me, which we do, mold pups. But other than that, it's kind of just like, hey, these are the wet rooms, these are the potential areas. If I see something off, a lot of times it's like there's no signs, right? Like in a shower, a lot of times the drop-in tubs are really notorious. There's no signs. They're backed up to an attic a lot of times, so it's like an unconditioned space, and then there's just like insulation separating that from the attic.
Yeah.
So you have like a massive thermal bridge right there that's just like there's no breakage at all. So I mean, a lot of times there are no symptoms. Most times behind showers when I'm finding that mold, it's because it's so localized to that interior area between the studs that you can't really see external signs. But otherwise, look for any signs of cracking, moisture, bubbling, or underneath. Obviously if it's an upper surface, look for any signs of staining. But a lot of times there are no symptoms, which is the most stressful part about a lot of this hidden mold, right? Is trying to find it.